So we'll have total of 1, 2, 3 text boxes. We're going to call HRTXT, MNTXT, and SECTXT. Those are my 3 variables, 3 text box names. Now in the JavaScript, I'm calling this update function. Again, it's a user-defined name, update. But now inside the body of this function, I will going to read today's date and time. And then from today, we're going to grab get hours, minutes, and seconds. Then we will going to place them in the respective text boxes. So we will place them in the respective text boxes. SECTXT, and now let me run it, and here you can see. Now right now your time is in military. We can always fix that. The size of the boxes is huge. We can fix that, but the code is there. Okay, so we will going to now add size to each one of these text boxes, and we're going to reduce its size. Okay, so now it shows the timer ticking. Now we're going to change the digits so that it actually runs, so that if it's a single digit second or a single digit minute or a single digit hour, it will going to add a 0, a leading 0. So instead of 9, it should be 09. And then we'll also going to display, instead of 18, we want to display 12 or 6. And when we display that, we also want to display AM PM factor. So the ternary operator. A ternary operator is an operator which you have learned in Java, for those of you who have done Java, or C#. It allows you to do what if condition does, but using a single operator. So you don't have to write the whole if condition block. So we have that right here as well. So let's start out only with seconds for now. So we will going to do this before we give a value of second over to the object. So second variable equals to, in the ternary operator you have a condition to check followed by a question mark followed by 2 sets of choices. So if the value of second variable is greater than 9, then simply assign the second variable value to second variable value, just like the way it is. Otherwise, we would like to concatenate 0 to second variable. And then assign your value. Similarly, we can do that with minute, that if the value of the minute variable is greater than 9, then assign it the way it is. Otherwise, add a leading 0. And we can do the same for hour.
What is this called again? A ternary condition?
A ternary operator.
Ternary operator.
Because it works with 3 values. Any operator that works with 2 is called binary.
Trinary. I thought it was ternary.
No, it is ternary. It is T-E-R-N-A-R-Y.
Oh,
Yeah.
ternary.
Okay. Ternary operator. That's the only operator that works with 3 values. So it's a ternary operator versus a binary operator versus a unary operator. The unary operators are plus plus, minus minus, those kind of operators. So now you can see that since my second is a value less than 10, it adds a leading 0, and then as soon as it reaches 10, it fixes it. Now for my HR, what do I need to do to change it from the military format to the non-military format? Simply subtract 12, right? So HRV equals to HRV minus 12. Okay? However, here I'm assuming when I just do that subtraction the way it is, that it's already past 12. So I'm going to use another ternary operator right over here as saying that if the value of HRV exceeds 12, only then subtract it. Otherwise, don't. So for readability purpose, I'm putting it in parentheses, and I'm spreading it out so that you can see the true and the false. So if the value is true, it grabs the first value. If the value is false, it grabs the second value, which is after the colon. Oh, you're right. Thank you. My HRV, I forgot to uppercase the V. Okay. So now, after uppercasing that, here we have 06, 45, 52. Okay, now we need to take care of that AM PM thing, right? Now, we're going to do it 2 different ways. Let's first try to bring in another input box. Once we add an input box, we're going to call it AM PM TXT. Size will going to be still 2 characters long. And before we subtract 12, we will going to now figure out it this way. Variable AM PM V equals to, if the current value of HR is greater than 12, or greater than equals to 12, I should say, then AM PM variable should be assigned a value of PM. Otherwise, should be assigned a value of AM. And then, this value should be assigned to document dot counterform dot AM PM text dot value should be AM PM variable. Next, we will going to learn how JavaScript can change some of the CSS properties. So I want to be able to give different text color based on if it's AM or PM. Just to the text AM PM. Okay? So, for that purpose, I will going to first of all give AM, PM, and HR, all of these elements an ID. I can do that. Or since I'm only planning on changing AM, PM, I'm going to give it the same ID as its name. AM, PM, TXT. Because CSS understand IDs. JavaScript understand names. So that's why we give the same value to name as well as ID, so that we don't have to come up with gazillions of names. Now I will going to declare a variable over here called color. This is just a regular string variable. Again, I'm going to use this AM PM logic. If hours is greater than 12, or rather I can just not declare an extra line and just do everything in the same line. If hours is greater than equals to 12, I want the text color to be blue. Otherwise, I want the text color to be green. So that's the value of my color. Next, I can say document dot. Now CSS does not know the way JavaScript understands. Rather, CSS can say, I want you to grab for me an element whose ID is AM, PM, TXT. So this will allow you to go into your document and look for an element. By element we mean a tag whose ID is AM, PM, TXT. Of that element, I want to change the style. So style is a built-in object in JavaScript. This object will going to give you access to all CSS properties of any element. Dot. I want to change its color to whatever is my color variable. So now notice that PM is in blue color. So this is again a gist of the code. If you want to change any CSS property from JavaScript, that CSS element should have a name, or ID, that should have an ID. The ID is referenced by JavaScript by using a built-in method getElementById, and then you can give the ID of the element. It looks up for that element, then style is basically telling I want to change the CSS styles on that element, followed by the property that you want to change. And then you can assign it a value in string in double quotes. In my case, I used a variable to do the same. In CSS, you hyphenate the words, right? If it's background color, you will write background hyphen color. In JavaScript, you can't hyphenate. Rather, if the name of a property is multi-word, you follow camel casing. So let's try to do that. Let me change my colors to maybe light blue and light green. And instead of style.color, I will going to write background will going to be written in all lowercase, but the word color will going to be written in all. we're going to start with an uppercase letter, showing that it's camel cased. And now I'm changing the background color, not the text color. And you can see in the output that the background color has been changed. So any and all of the CSS properties can be changed right from JavaScript. And these are the two things that you have to keep in mind. If anything was hyphenated in CSS, it will be camel cased in JavaScript. If it was a single word, it will just all go in lowercase.